What's up, Sagittarius, and welcome to your weekly reading for January 23rd through January 29th. Before I start the reading, I am going to share some of my artwork with you guys. I have these two paintings up right now. I don't know if you could see them that well. There you go. My little Three of Hearts. I'm sorry, Three of Hearts. Three of Swords paintings. I believe I'm selling those for $35. I don't know. It's on my Etsy, but I did add the link to my Etsy below so you guys can check out all my artwork if you want to. I also have crochet and stuff like that. I also put a link to PayPal and Cash App. So if you guys want to be generous and tip me, I would really appreciate it. It would help me out a lot. If not, like, share, subscribe, comment, yada, yada, all that fun stuff. Anyways, I'm going to start your reading off with an oracle card. It's Aquarius season, yay! So this deck really screams like Aquarius vibes to me. Yeah, Starseed Oracle deck. I love it. So let's see. What do we have this week for Sagittarius? Please and thank you, Spirit, for Sagittarius. All right. I will take it. Okay, so you guys got karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. I'm really seeing the polarity here. I don't know if it's because of these, it's like there's two different worlds. One's on one side and one's on the other. I'm also seeing like past self, like I'm getting this energy of like looking back on yourself and being like, wow, that was a whole different lifetime. It's interesting. So let me go ahead and read that from the book, and then I will just jump right into pulling some tarot for you guys. All right, karmic relationships. It says, the constellation Orion is thought by many to have been a place of great polarity and eventual unity. Some believe that many starseeds who were part of this cosmic history are incarnate on Earth now. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me start that again. That jumbled me up. Some believe that many starseeds who were part of this cosmic history are incarnate on Earth now and are playing out karmic relationships from Orion times. Perhaps you're one of them. Polarity causes conflict and highlights separation. However, because of this, conflict can also result in unity and growth. Too many misunderstandings are caused when we don't open our heart and mind and see things from a different point of view. When we go into reactive second-guessing mode, instead of gathering the courage to open our heart, we should admit that we may have reacted because of our own woundings and then find mutual ground. We're all innocent children looking to be seen, understood, and cherished. It's much harder to grow closer through conflict than it is to grow further apart. Let me read that again. It's much harder to grow closer through conflict than it is to grow further apart. And yet that's the invitation of conflict. It's easy to react and take things personally. It's more challenging to see the innocence of all involved and find a way to grow closer through the conflict. It's through relationships that we grow the most. How can you soften your heart and drop your defenses enough to see things from a different point of view? How can you see the innocence of all involved? How can you learn to see the similarities rather than the differences? And the Starseed Soul inquiry for this is, which relationships do you find the most challenging? How can you see things from a different perspective? How are you being called to allow growth through the conflict? Wow, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever gotten this card, so I don't think I've ever read it before. That's an interesting way to look at conflict. To know that there is growth through conflict. And obviously there's an opportunity, a lesson to grow and learn through everything, especially through struggle, but to see conflict and polarity as, a way to learn, something to learn from it, some way to grow from Sagittarius. There's definitely an opportunity to see the other person's perspective this week. Lots of highlights on perspective for all the signs. So if you're dealing with another sign or you were drawn to watch another reading this week, definitely watch it because, like I said, lots of perspective shifts. I'm going to jump right into pulling some tarot and we'll see exactly what it's talking about. I am getting like a situation of like a conflict with one other person. And I don't know if it's just because of the picture, but you guys may be dealing with one other particular person in general. But let's see. What do we have for Sagittarius? Please and thank you, Spirit, for Sagittarius. Oh, okay. We have, perfect, we have 3 cards. The Lovers in the reverse. You guys could be dealing with a Gemini. This could just be representing that you are at odds with a lover right now, and that could be the other person that's involved. We have the, what is this? 9, I believe. Yeah, 9. Sorry, I have to count his little claws. 9 of Swords in the reverse. 9 of Swords in the reverse. That's interesting. I have to read what that is in this book. It could be something slightly different than the original tarot, but it's like there's an opportunity. Like the original card, the first card was saying, there is conflict here. It could have caused a lot of sleepless nights with you. It could have caused a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. But with this being in the reverse, it's like there's an opportunity to end it. We have the Queen of Pentacles last. You guys could be dealing with an earth sign. Or this is just something that Spirit wants you to embody right now, just to stable yourself out so you can see things from a different perspective. Like the card was talking about, the first card, it was talking about acting or reacting, right? Reacting and not thinking about the way you're reacting quickly, reacting out of, which it's easy to do. It's easy to react in negative ways when you're in the middle of conflict. I get it. But the Queen of Pentacles, she's stable, right? She's stable. And the fact that it's a queen and not the king, I like that because that says that she's stable. I know this isn't what this normally means, but this is what I'm picking up. You're being stable in your emotions because let's face it, women, the feminine, it's emotion, right? Feminine energy represents the emotions. And with this being the Queen of Pentacles, you're stable in your emotions. It's so funny. I'm surprised it's not the Queen of Cups, because that's stable emotions. But it's like not only do the Spirit want you to embody this Queen of Pentacles for your stable emotions, but it's like this energy will just stabilize you in general. If it was just the Queen of Cups, it would just be talking about emotions. But it's like there's a need for stability in every level, not just emotions. I'm just saying that this will help with your emotional stability because this is a situation that's surrounded by conflict. And that's usually when our emotions are high and heated and, we say things that we don't mean to. Shit like that, I'm going to actually read you these definitions. So we'll start with the Lovers in the reverse. It says, the lovers bask in the sunshine of perfect harmony on a day undarkened by clouds. In reverse, it says, the burning hot card turns cool, but affections needn't cool off entirely. Winter is a time when plants retreat to their roots. This doesn't mean the bloom is off the rose or that it won't blossom later. In the meantime, a little cold can be refreshing, especially when you've got someone or something, preferably furry, to warm you. So yeah, you see how there's distance here between these two people? It's like, even though this is an opportunity to grow and to learn from this conflict, if you need to take a step back, Sagittarius, to cool off, and I am getting that heavily, like there's this need to cool down. You could be very heated. Being a fire sign, this conflict could get you very riled up, very angry. And that's what I mean about this Queen of Pentacles, this need for stability. And I love that this deck specifically says that the burning hot card turns cool. It's like, yeah, like you need to cool down. It's like, it's saying that doesn't mean that the bloom is off the rose or that it won't blossom later. So if you're having a conflict with somebody, with a lover, or somebody that you care about deeply, it doesn't mean that the relationship is done, right? It just needs time to cool. You need time to cool down. It says a little cold can be refreshing, especially when you've got someone or something to warm you. So it's like cool down, and then it'll recenter your perspective, and maybe the other person cooling down, it'll recenter their perspective, because there is love here for sure. especially with that card talking about like there's an opportunity to see the conflict as not a conflict. It's actually something that can be learned from, right? An opportunity to grow and heal. Like I said, it's a very, very different perspective of conflict that I'm usually seeing. Usually conflict is completely negative. Nobody wants that, but it's like this is a positive opportunity here. And like I said, there is love here. It may have felt like there wasn't with this 9 of Swords, but like I said, it's in the reverse. So let me go ahead and read that because I don't think I've read that 9 of Swords in the reversed in this card or in this deck. Just in general, it says a dark cloud is looming, serving as a warning of things to come. In the reverse, it says, unfortunately, there is no magic solution to all the worry, fear, and depression. That said, those negative feelings about yourself aren't helping. Retract your claws. Whatever this darkness is, the only way out is through. Yeah, it's like you can't avoid the conflict. You can't sweep it under the rug. That's what I'm picking up. You can't sweep this under the rug. You have to go through this conflict in order to get out on the other side. And if that means that you guys need to stable your energy, cool down, and then come back and talk to each other when you're cool, when you're more understanding of each other's perspective, then do so. But the only way to get past this is to go through it. You can't avoid it. Yeah, it's like, for example, if you're married to someone, and this could be the case for you guys, you're married to someone and you guys get into, you guys come across a conflict, you get into an altercation. It has to be talked about, Sagittarius. It has to. You cannot ignore the issue. It'll just come back up. The only way to fix the solution is to go through it, to deal with it. The only way out is through. So, you know, definitely, like I said, take the time to get stable, to cool down, and then the solution to the conflict and the learning to the conflict, like you'll understand what you need to learn from it. It'll happen. So let me finish with this Queen of Pentacles here. All right, it says the Queen of Pentacles portends great tidings ahead, but as always, it takes both diligence and intelligence. The Queen of Pentacles is nurturing, supportive, strong, loving, creative, and successful thanks to her paws-on approach to the tasks in front of her. She's incredibly astute and willing to keep at it until the treat is out of the maze. If she sounds ideal, that's because she is. These are the standards to aim for. So it's like she's taking her time, like, you know, those little kitty treats, like those little maze, I think they're stoppers, like to slow them down so they're not like inhaling their food. She's trying to get the treat out of the maze, and she's diligent and she's patient, and that's what's being called for here. Patience in the situation. Do not get so hot-headed. Take time to cool down. And you see like this cool, like a lot of cool energy here. Like, even though this is the Lovers and like they're in the sun right here, you see the cool energy right here, like the blue, even the green. It's like cool colors. Even this like green, it's like this light sage green, this cool color. We got this watercolor back here. Lots of green and blue, cooling energy, healing energy. Right? Healing to the heart center, healing to your throat chakra, your communication, right? So maybe there's things that get heated in this conflict and they hurt your heart, and so you say things that you don't mean, or you know, you just get into this hot-headed, unstable version of yourself, and it creates more conflict. Yeah, wow, crazy. So opportunity this week, Sagittarius, to change your perspective when it comes to conflict, or a conflict that you're in, or a situation that you're in. Yeah, it's so funny. This at the bottom of the deck right here, we have the 5 of Pentacles, but in this deck, it means a little something different. It's more like be thankful for what you have, be thankful, share what little you have with others. It's like, look at the card. It's not really like a left out in the, let me go ahead and read that for you actually, because like I said, it's a little different than normal 5 of Pentacles. And I love that you see that the kitties are like kissing, and they're like, it's okay. We may not have a lot, but we have each other. I love that. I love that because like I said, there is love here. I'm not picking up like there's no love. It's just like you may be talking out of like, you know, fiery energy. There's a need for something to be cooled down here. So let's see. Let's find this Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles. It says circumstances have changed and financial comfort seems a thing of the past. What's to be done? So a lot of you guys maybe conflict with a loved one over like financial things. But it says the picture painted by the Five of Pentacles is not always a pretty one, although it has its comforts. It reminds us of the potential emotional hardship of the outside world, the threat of eating out of trash cans, sleeping in cold garages, and the other travails of street cat life. Some interpretations, though, are far cheerier, focusing on the wealth we find in love and companionship. See, and that's what I mean by this has a different, slightly different meaning than the original Five of Pentacles. This is like focus on what you do have. And sometimes the wealth here isn't in the material. It's in the relationship that you have. So there is a loving relationship here, Sagittarius, that maybe you're not really noticing because of the conflict involved. But just keep in mind that showing gratitude for this loved one in your life, even if there is conflict, it'll go a long way. You know, understanding and gratitude can go a long way. So I'm going to finish off the reading with advice from angels. So let's see what we have here for Sagittarius. What advice do we have for Sagittarius this week? For Sagittarius, please and thank you. Oh, okay. I'm going to take that one. We did get joy. I'll take them both. So one fell on the ground. Oh, let me get that. Okay, so first we have joy. It says joy is the highest energy of all. It's the magical sense that everything is possible. Joy springs from appreciating the gifts within each moment. Joy allows you to attract and create your present and future moments at their highest possible levels. So there's a need for joy in your life. And then you see all that water again? You see all that water again, Sagittarius? It's like there's a need for cleansing your energy too. A lot of water energy. But like I said, there's that cool down again, that need to cool down and to be in that joyous energy and not so in that hot-headed energy. And yeah, next one out, yes, see only love, you guys. See only love. Look past the seeming errors, mistakes, and misunderstandings and see only the love within each person, including yourself. Your resolute focus upon the love that underlies every situation brings about healing in undreamed of ways. Focus on the love here. Take the time to take a step back, cool down, and remember that you have a loving relationship here, regardless of the conflict that you guys come across or endure. It's time to see it from a different perspective, to see only love. So those are your messages for the week, Sagittarius. I hope they resonated. I'm sending you guys lots of love as always. Take care.